Hello and welcome. This is Notibot ENG. In a rapidly escalating Middle East crisis, tensions are running high as Iran's supreme leader issues a defiant statement on the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. has been warned of prolonged, painful blows amid reports of potential strike plans. Meanwhile, economic concerns loom large, with the Bank of England expected to hold interest rates amidst war fears. And in a shift of allegiances, South Korea is reorienting its strategy for strategic autonomy. We'll break down these key developments and more in our news recap tonight. In a move that underscores ongoing tensions in the region, Iran's supreme leader has issued a strongly worded statement about its strategic waterway. Today, Iran's supreme leader Mojtaba Khamenei has broken his recent silence with a defiant statement on the Strait of Hormuz, a crucial waterway for global oil supply. The statement was read by a state television anchor, and it marked a significant development in Tehran's efforts to assert its control over shipping in the region. The U.S. has been mounting a counter-blockade since April 13, designed to stop oil tankers from entering or leaving Iranian ports. This move comes after President Joe Biden's administration vowed to increase pressure on Iran following the assassination of top General Qasem Soleimani in January. The blockade has already started to affect Iranian oil exports, with several tankers being prevented from loading and unloading crude. Khamenei's statement asserts that Tehran will eliminate the enemy's abuses of the waterway and secure the Gulf region. He also vowed to guard Iran's nuclear and missile programs, which have been at the center of international tensions for years. The Iranian leader claimed that a new management system for the strait would bring comfort and progress to all nations in the region. The statement is seen as a belated assertion of regional sovereignty by Iran, which has long sought to maintain its influence over the strategic waterway. With the U.S. showing no signs of backing down on its blockade, Iran's position becomes increasingly isolated. The situation is set to further escalate tensions between the two major world powers and raise concerns about global energy security. As tensions between Iran and the United States continue to escalate, a new warning from Tehran has sent shockwaves across the region and beyond. Iran has issued a warning to the United States, stating that it will respond with prolonged and painful blows if the U.S. considers new strikes against Tehran. The warning comes after reports emerged that President Donald Trump is expected to receive a briefing from U.S. Central Command on options for a series of strikes aimed at breaking the current stalemate in relations between the two countries. According to Axios, the U.S. proposals include strikes on Iranian infrastructure, as well as broader options such as increased naval pressure in the Strait of Hormuz. These plans are reportedly aimed at forcing Iran back to negotiations with greater flexibility, particularly on the nuclear issue. The situation escalated after the U.S. and Israel launched strikes on Iran on February 28, prompting a retaliation from Tehran against U.S. allies in the Gulf and closing the Strait of Hormuz. A ceasefire was announced on April 8 through Pakistani mediation, followed by talks in Islamabad on April 11, but an agreement could not be reached. The latest warning from Majid Musavi, commander of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Aerospace Force, suggests that Tehran is still highly motivated to resist any further U.S. aggression. The stakes are high, with the Strait of Hormuz being a critical waterway for global oil supplies and a key source of tension between the two countries. The situation remains volatile, with both sides dug in on their positions. The international community watches anxiously as the conflict teeters on the brink of further escalation. As tensions continue to rise, it remains to be seen whether a resolution can be reached through diplomacy or if the situation will continue to deteriorate. As tensions escalate in the Middle East and global markets respond, investors are now watching the Bank of England's latest interest rate decision closely today. The Bank of England has maintained its main interest rate at 3.75% as policymakers assess the economic impact of the ongoing Iran war and its effects on global energy markets. This decision was largely anticipated by financial markets, following similar moves by other major central banks, including the U.S. Federal Reserve and Bank of Japan. Governor Andrew Bailey explained that the bank is taking a cautious approach due to the unpredictability of events in the Middle East. He stated that their primary goal remains to ensure inflation returns to its 2% target after the initial impact of the war on energy prices has passed. However, the bank did publish a range of forecasts given these geopolitical uncertainties. In this worst-case scenario, where oil and gas prices remain higher for an extended period, UK inflation could rise to as much as 6.2%, up from the current 3.3%. The bank also considered several possible outcomes of the conflict, including multiple rate rises and a heightened risk of recession. This highlights the significant concerns surrounding the global economy's response to the Iran war. In a stark warning to the United States, Iran has issued a chilling ultimatum over American military presence in the Gulf region. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei has issued a statement warning the U.S. that its presence in the Gulf region is unwelcome and will be met with resistance. The message, which appears to be from Khamenei himself, although he is reportedly severely injured and unable to speak publicly, was passed on through top security officials. According to the statement, Iran's goal is to create a future free of American influence, where nations can progress, prosper, and enjoy peace without external interference. Khamenei claimed that U.S. actions in the region, particularly during the ongoing war with Israel, have been malicious and exploitative, posing a threat to regional stability. The statement highlights Tehran's determination to secure control over the Gulf region and eliminate what it describes as the enemy's abuses of the waterway. The Strait of Hormuz, a vital trade route that connects the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Sea, is seen by Iran as a strategic asset that has long been exploited by foreign powers. Khamenei's words are significant given his son's reported injuries and inability to speak publicly. The U.S. and its allies have expressed concerns about Khamenei's condition, which may indicate increased tensions between Washington and Tehran. The statement also underscores the complexity of the conflict in the region, where Iran's security interests clash with those of regional powers and global powers. The implications of this statement are far-reaching, with potential for heightened tensions between Iran and the U.S., as well as its allies in the region. The Strait of Hormuz remains a critical choke point for global oil supplies, making any disruption to it a major concern. As South Korea continues its efforts to diversify and strengthen its economy, a significant shift is underway in its geopolitical approach towards Asia's rising powers. South Korea's pivot southward has gained momentum under President Lee Jae-myung, with a focus on strategic autonomy. This shift marks a significant departure from previous diplomatic efforts, including the new Southern policy and Indo-Pacific strategy. President Lee's administration has taken bold steps to diversify Seoul's external relationships, engaging counterparts at major global forums such as the G7, UN, and G20. A notable example is his successful hosting of the APEC Summit in 2025. This event brought together leaders from across the Asia-Pacific region, showcasing South Korea's growing influence on the world stage. The Lee administration's approach has been characterized by pragmatic diplomacy, anchored in national interests. By recalibrating relationships with great powers and other nations, Seoul seeks to establish a stronger position in global affairs. This strategic autonomy allows South Korea to design its own path, rather than being drawn into the orbit of single great powers. The significance of this pivot cannot be overstated. As the international order continues to shift, South Korea's ability to navigate these changes will be crucial. The country's position on key issues such as trade, energy security, and critical mineral supply chains is under constant scrutiny. By pursuing strategic autonomy, Seoul aims to maintain its independence and protect its national interests. The success of this pivot will depend on the foundations built by the Lee administration. If they can establish a stable foundation for their foreign policy, South Korea's diplomacy will be able to weather any storm. However, if previous efforts have been overly optimistic, caution is warranted. And that's all for tonight's recap. Thank you for watching. We'll continue to bring you updates on the latest global developments. Don't miss out on our in-depth analysis and breaking news coverage. Subscribe to our channel now and stay informed on the stories that matter most. Join us tomorrow as we explore more of the world's most pressing issues.